What's grit? You might remember when you came into Trio for your interview, answering a series of 12 questions from a grit scale questionnaire. The questions were things like, I've overcome setbacks to conquer an important challenge. And you answered very much like me, mostly like me, somewhat not much like me, and not like me at all. And at the end, you got a score out of between 1 and 5 that said how much grit you had. Can you remember what grit is? Grit is a personality trait. It enables an individual to persevere in accomplishing a goal despite obstacles over an extended period of time. It's also known as stick-to-itiveness. Grit is passion and perseverance for very long-term goals, having stamina, sticking with your future day in, day out for years. So it's that linking of persistence and passion together. Studies have shown that high grit is a better predictor of success than a high IQ. So it's more important to have that grit, that passion, that perseverance than to be intelligent. Many people think success is the picture on the left, a path from A to B, when in fact, success really looks more like the picture on the right. Failure versus practice. Failure is natural, it's necessary, it's the way that we learn. In music and sports, failure is called practice. So think of one of your failures, professional, academic, personal, and then reframe it as practice. You can develop grit by seeing failure as an opportunity for learning and cultivating a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. Take a look at some of these over here. A fixed mindset says, I can't do this. A growth mindset says, I can't do this yet. Please take a few minutes now to watch this video and learn more about growth mindset.
Did you know there's a powerful relationship between what we believe about how we learn and our actual achievement? Dr. Carol Dweck studies students' beliefs about intelligence. What she found is that students generally hold one of two very different beliefs about intelligence. Some students have what she calls a fixed mindset. This is the belief that intelligence is a fixed trait that doesn't change much. So like eye color, these students believe you're born with a certain amount of intelligence and there's not much you can do to change it. Other students have a very different belief about intelligence. They have a growth mindset. They see intelligence more like a muscle. They understand that when you put in effort, you can get smarter. What we now know from study after study is that the more students have a growth mindset and believe that they can grow their intelligence, the better they do in school. Students with a growth mindset do better in school because they approach learning differently than students with a fixed mindset. For students with a fixed mindset, their goal in school is to show how smart they are, or hide how dumb they think they are. This makes sense, right? If you think you're just born smart or dumb, you want to make sure you show that you are smart. So this makes fixed mindsetters much less likely to ask questions in class or seek out help from peers or teachers, because that would involve showing that they don't know something. Students with a growth mindset, on the other hand, have the goal to learn, so they're more likely to ask a question if they don't understand or to seek out help or try a new strategy if they are struggling. When it comes to the amount of effort you have to put forth, students with a fixed mindset and students with a growth mindset see that differently as well. Those with a fixed mindset actually see effort as proof of low ability. They think that if you have to try hard, that means you aren't very smart. Whereas students with a growth mindset see effort as the way that you get smarter. How students react when they are faced with a challenge or setback in their learning is what really differentiates those with a fixed mindset and those with a growth mindset. Students with a fixed mindset will think that they are not smart and will likely give up on a task. Those with a growth mindset tend to work harder because they see it as an opportunity to learn and grow their intelligence. So if we can all grow our intelligence, are we saying that all students have equal ability? We aren't saying that everyone has the same level of intelligence. Having a growth mindset doesn't mean that you believe everyone has equal ability in every subject matter. It also doesn't mean that we believe some students aren't more talented in certain subjects than others. It means that you believe that no matter where a person is now, they can always improve with effort, good strategies, and help. And that's the number one piece of information you should take away from this lesson. No matter where a person is now, they can always improve with effort, good strategies, and help.
I hope you liked the growth mindset video and that it made growth mindset clear to you. Have you ever heard of brain plasticity? Take a minute and watch this next video. How might brain plasticity apply to you as a college student?
Not so long ago, many scientists believed that the brain did not change after childhood, that it was hardwired and fixed by the time we became adults. But recent advances in only the last decade now tell us that this is simply not true. The brain can and does change throughout our lives. It is adaptable, like plastic. Hence, neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity. How does neuroplasticity work? If you think of your brain as a dynamic, connected power grid, there are billions of pathways or roads lighting up every time you think, feel, or do something. Some of these roads are well-travelled. These are our habits, our established ways of thinking, feeling, and doing. Every time we think in a certain way, practice a particular task, or feel a specific emotion, we strengthen this road. It becomes easier for our brains to travel this pathway. Say we think about something differently, learn a new task, or choose a different emotion. We start carving out a new road. If we keep travelling that road, our brains begin to use this pathway more, and this new way of thinking, feeling, or doing becomes second nature. The old pathway gets used less and less and weakens. This process of rewiring your brain by forming new connections and weakening old ones is neuroplasticity in action. The good news is that we all have the ability to learn and change by rewiring our brains. If you have ever changed a bad habit or thought about something differently, you have carved a new pathway in your brain and experienced neuroplasticity firsthand. With repeated and directed attention towards your desired change, you can rewire your brain.
What did you learn about grit, growth mindset, and your brain? How does it apply to your journey as a college student? Please answer the questions in the quiz in D2L found below. Thank you.